Hello everybody! There are a few videos out there now that tell you how to make an original species, but almost none that tell you about the species post-release. There aren't any videos of a creator telling you what they experienced as a creator, or what happened after the release. They don't tell you what they liked best, or what they wish they did different. So with this video, I thought I'd give you more tips in the form of telling you what I wish I did differently with my original species so that you can learn from my mistakes or successes. Saurians. This is one of my favorite species despite being the least original. Saurians are anthropomorphic dinosaurs, and that's pretty much it. I didn't think there were enough examples of anthro-dinosaurs out there, so I made a species about that. It's a little more than that, but that was the basic idea. They're also part mammal, and there are versions that are hybrids. The lore was especially fun to develop. I felt like I was pushed creatively with making the lore for them. Basically, during the extinction event that wiped out the original dinosaurs, there was a far-off island that was so far off it was not affected by the meteor. The dinos on that island shrunk as water levels rose due to the changing climate from the meteor, and they became more humanoid as they interbreeded with other species and mammals that were also limited to that small island. Then they evolved similarly to humans, but the water levels wouldn't stop rising, so many of them got on boats and went in various different directions towards different continents to live amongst the other furry creatures. The lore is simple, the idea is simple, and the design is simple. Since it's an open species and I don't do traits for this one, I don't have to worry about whether they look like Saurians or whether new additions mess up their appearance. At first I was concerned about how we would do events if there was no currency to reward winners with, but I made high Saurians and cross Saurians, which are hybrids between two Saurian species or a Saurian and some other furry species. These are closed so that I have more control over the appearance, and so they stay recognizably Saurians. It's been working well, and so I let contest winners make one, and that's how I reward event winners. We have a master list, but it's almost never used. It takes a lot of work off of me, and it's just, you know, a good time. Like all my species communities, they're very active. They're constantly talking to each other, making art for each other, even if there isn't a reward or profit incentive for them to do so like many of my other communities. Other than lacking originality, I don't really have any notes for them. I wish they were more popular, but I mean, I could say that about all my other species. A lot of artists stray away from scaly, so I think I'm, like, kinda doing a little bit of a service by encouraging people to make them more. I don't make any money off this community. Absolute zero. Operating at a loss because it technically takes me work to maintain it, but there are people who have made adopts and have made some money themselves, so I feel like I'm helping. Since it's hosted on Wix and Discord, it doesn't cost me anything to run the community, so I don't really have an issue with running it for free. It's a zero work species, honestly. I think this one works best as a control example of what an original species can run like. Probably what I'll compare all my other species to. Just a control for basing the others off of. That's it for this one. Hopefully by sharing my mistakes and successes, I've helped you spot some of the things you need to work on yourself. Sometimes you won't be able to spot a bad idea until you follow through on the idea. So remember, it's better to make something than to let it sit in your head. 99% of projects and ideas don't ever see completion, so by just finishing it, you put yourself in the 1%. So good, bad, doesn't matter. You can't learn from it if you don't try. If you're watching a bunch of tip videos before you make your thing, instead consider allowing yourself to fail and just get started already. You need to learn how to fix things just as much as you need to learn how to make good things. Your thing doesn't need to be perfect, because there's always next time, and you can always fix your mistakes. And it's just that simple. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.